Exist, shop video is it? Yeah, that. Kwesta, and I'm live on ADN Lifestyle no Sinate. Make sure you check it out. Izolang na yun dyan. Para season.
Sounds familiar. When you start recording all these DJs, you end up knowing their music. Go for that one. We good.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're gonna do that whole thing, but I you know me and formalities. I don't like.
Oh. He's coming. That's what I was calling now.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Okay, that's cool. I'm like, buy that thing, dude. Buy that thing. Hey guys. And welcome to a very special. This is the most special one I've done so far. So
I refuse to believe it.
You refuse to believe that. Welcome to ADN Lifestyle with Sanate, brought to you by Audionomics Entertainment. Today, Kiditsile, SENZO, Mfundo,
Yes.
VILAKAZI. How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm
man.
alright,
I'm good.
man.
I'm chilling.
It's been a while.
Familiar faces.
Right?
Yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
You
been
know,
a minute. It's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean, I've known you for a lot of years.
I know.
I
know. Since Kilimkana.
Nambe ngilimkana.
Very tiny with big voices.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I came onto this and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, Sinate, it's gonna beat me to the voice thing.
No, man. You know,
normally everything is like, oh yeah, his voice, which I hate, by the way. I hate that conversation of a voice, but then when I saw you, I'm like, now we're gonna have problems because my voice is not gonna matter.
Now just in a competition.
As much as I hate it, but I don't want it to, completely fade away.
So on my timeline, I always get people saying, "Hey, wait, now you sound like Kwesta," and stuff. They call me the female version of you.
Gandabaz would say that.
And I always go, "Yeah, boy, I'm so much." But yeah, you see,
I tell you, if I made you a lot uglier than how pretty you are right now, if I made you ugly and look like this, you could do a show for me. Oh my
think
God.
So?
Yeah, I think
I
you
could
do
pass
that.
You,
yeah,
be a
you
clone.
Could pass as me. Like, literally, you just have to work hard on being as ugly as I am. Which is terrible.
You're not
terrible.
ugly, man. You're not ugly. I can tell you.
Let me tell you, Nyazaz, man. I know my strengths, please.
It's been such a long time since I've seen you. I was so nervous. I was so excited at the same time because, we've known each other for so long. And I wanted to talk about Vele last Con.
Yeah.
How we met.
Yeah.
Siluma Katlehong.
Yeah.
You reminded me of that. I'm like, this guy. This is into.
The AMS also.
AMS, yes,
right?
AMS Records. Where's everyone?
I was with Max and Chimudi, who was 11 plus. Who was, at the time, I don't know how old we were, but he was 11, and he was like Max and Tatu's younger brother. He was the youngest one there.
Yeah.
But I was with Max, and I haven't seen the other gents in a long
Ginger.
time. I know I was with who that is? Abu Ginger. I was with Lebs and
Jandine. Oh my gosh, it's such a corner.
It's also years, but maybe a year. I think in 2021.
Yeah.
Last time I saw Lebs and Jandine, but the most recent I've seen of the guys has been Max and Chimudi.
No. Max Mele Avele. I want our song.
We got a song. People don't know that.
People don't know we got a song.
Maybe a couple even. Right?
Yeah, I think a couple of songs.
Yeah, there was a couple of songs that were done.
I remember those.
It's so insane though. It's like it's so crazy how we could be like doing something different. Like there's this podcast platform right now.
Yeah.
And there's no platform to kind of say, I don't just know, bro. Like we did joints. Like,
we did a lot
you know
of
what I
shit
mean?
together.
And both joints. Like it was joints and joints.
I remember telling
weird.
my mom before she passed, I don't know what you were doing on TV, and I was like, Moms, can see this guy? And I'm like,
worst part is that I met moms once.
yes, you did.
You
did.
Because there was that distance to walk to
Yeah,
your house
yeah.
from the studio.
Yeah.
And one day we walked here and she came out and she was like, hey, kids, boom, boom. And
Yeah,
I
Mara
met her.
unkipile gini. For a while she was like, Mo, utlotsi ba di-drugs mo.
Oh yeah, of course.
Mo,
of course.
utlotsi ba di-drugs
That's
because
what all the mothers thought.
I was like, me own. I could have been, as famous as you. That's the thing.
Which is
So
also
in Davana Corner, there weren't a lot of girls there. There were girls, but there weren't a lot. And I was literally one of the girls who went there consistently.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my mom was like, Ashaman Babakan. First of all, uzo meet.
Yeah, and then
Uzopema drugs.
and then it was the same at home though. Outside of maybe the fact that you can zomita because I think it's biologically impossible.
Yeah.
But but everything else was the same. Namendlin bebanga phone. They didn't want me there because I think what parents do is they have plans for you.
Ngempilo yakho.
And they don't even know they're doing that, but it's what happens. But I had to sort of literally I left, right? So I ran away from her. Well, I don't know, the word ran away is terrible, or the term ran away. I just left home and didn't come back and said I'm gonna come back when things are better. And I literally lived there for a bit, and even the guys didn't know that I wasn't going home.
Really?
They thought I was going home during the day. Can I just go out the day, just go down there? I'm
Now, yo, this guy, yo, to Zenza.
But I was a nice stoat because no one knew. I was quiet.
No one knew.
I was a
No
quiet
one knew
stoat. I was like a very secretive stoat guy.
Besikubona thina ngoba besikubona all the time.
Hayi man. Gaga endlini lo?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yagaga lona. With you running away per se, so the 16-year-old you, I'm gonna also take it to the 16th bar.
16-year-old.
16-year-old.
Yeah,
The 16-year-old you going to your mom's and saying, lalela mfethu, yabona la ngisayomosh. Le yesikolo yona. How did that conversation go about?
I think it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
I'm sure.
Even as yet.
I'm sure. Because abazali
was
bethu were very strict. Well, I don't know about your mom, but my mom was very strict. Hence, Ankipilegin. She was like,
Mine was too,
Yeah.
but she had a soft side, man. I mean, she was a divorced lady with 3 kids.
Yeah.
So there was always I'll try and understand it and I'll try and get it, but she had a point where you couldn't cross.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And,
like
and
all
that's what I
parents
was
do.
trying to do. Yeah. So she was strict in that matter. With her final fence, said no. And I went over that shit, right?
I mean, I had this
Incredible.
thing with Mklambe, your mom, because I went to Siluma. My cheese boy.
Bad
I'm
cheese
just
boy,
saying.
let me tell you,
I'm just saying.
Gucci-
But
that's
most
the rumor has why it's no cheese boys because maybe how they built their houses.
the
and
houses,
things,
yeah.
because me and my come up really as a child. Kulano koke mavimbela, and yes, there's a difference, right? But well, now that I'm grown, I can see that there isn't any difference.
There isn't,
right?
yeah.
There
But
really
Maskula,
isn't any difference.
there was
we thought,
it's Luma. I'm a cheese boy.
Kanti opasithetha babalekisa isikolo nje. And what happened is that there was not even a studio phela even there until kufika i-EMS.
EMS, yeah.
Until, and these are guys that had come from what's this Malberton and things, and came to set up in the hood, and which was a blessing to me, and a blessing to a lot of us.
people,
right?
yeah.
I was like, oh, wow,
Because a lot of people
there's
went to the
place
studio.
record,
I was going to say there was a lot of guys. Where's mathematics?
There was mathematics, dog. Yo, Matt, I think it's been years also since I've seen him, but we've had some conversations and promised each other work. You know how artists do?
Yeah.
Half the time they meet each other and go, "Yo, we need to do something."
Yeah.
We should do something. And that stuff never happens.
Yeah.
It was one of those. There was what I think. I don't know if you remember thingy. Italian Black Divine also. There was Brutal Assault as the group.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Which was Ginger, Marcus, Max, Lebs and Jandini, and there was Tato on production, there was Joe on production, and Max himself also, he was also on the group, and it was just so crazy how that thing became sort of TP also.
TP,
right?
TP. Oh my
in.
gosh. Oh, he used to have this amazing voice. I was like,
and so I bump into TP every now and then.
He doesn't do music anymore.
Every now and then. I'm
not sure.
Last time I saw TP was at a pro's funeral.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we didn't really get time to speak about music. It was just SENZO.
Yeah.
Tapelo. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those. But yeah, it was like a hub that guys from Marlborough had come here to create, and which was such a very incredible outlet for us.
It was indeed. It was insane. I remember all those sessions like yesterday. Like
that shit was crazy.
But yeah, it was,
you're gonna be judged and I'm gonna be judged. We don't want that.
Let's not even go there. Yeah. But otherwise, besides your music and everything, we're nanje unjani. Personally,
I don't I'm okay as far as okay goes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set out my own okay. Trying to
not live
push
up to
a boundary,
other people's.
push this, do that, and I'm also just a little bit more rebellious than I've been.
How so?
I'm in terms of I'm no longer in a situation where I have to think collectively. Right, my collective is just home now. And then everything else that I'm doing, musically or artistically, is just how far I'm willing to push myself, not how far we think we should. You know what I mean? Which is a good place, right? Because I can easily balance that off just based off of a conversation with myself, and I can go, you're doing too much here and too little there, or you're doing too little there and too much there, right?
Balance.
So I'm trying to get that thing as a thing that I live by, and it has its things, it has its moments where you think, oh, maybe I should have spent more time on Kwesta instead of SENZO, right? And then you also think, oh, maybe I should have spent more time on SENZO. So it's just that thing, and I don't think that thing will ever stop. So I've figured out that my life is kind of gonna go in between the two things, because some of the things that were done just in general that are forever, right? There's people who are never gonna see me as SENZO. Right? And there's people who are never going to see me as Kwesta. And,
like your kids.
And you have a relationship with all those
Thank
people
you.
in any case. So
cheers. Been waiting.
Cheers. But outside of that, man, it's just I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out what I haven't. I'm figuring out what I don't know. Also, I'm trying to go to places I haven't been to in my head, in my heart, in my just. My thing is to just do, but I'm doing, which is the most important thing, is to do. I think generally the human body is a verb. It's designed to be able to do things. You can think them up all you want, but if they stay in your head and you do nothing about them, then we have a problem. So I'm trying to do things, and I'm trying to fail at a lot of things, and I'm trying to get right at a lot of things. Just
doing you.
That's how I'm doing. I'm doing.
Just doing.
I'm doing.
I'm looking at.
Well, me. I'm doing me.
Doing you.
Because doing doesn't. If you leave it there, then you're doing everybody.
We don't wanna. No, we're not putting it out there. No, I'm looking at the 16-year-old you in my head, the one that I knew, that I grew up with, and then I'm looking at you now. The whole transition, like the difference. Well, you're still the same guy. I mean, you're still as cool as ever.
I'm a little less quiet now, though.
Yeah, no.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Yes.
Keep up my punchline. So manje, things have changed. How's the whole family dynamic? How do I put this? Since things have changed, mind you, married, you've got kids. Like, how's that treating you, Nje?
It's tough. Well, by tough, I mean, it takes effort.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a thing that just happens on the side while you carry on with life. It's a thing you pay attention to. And you go, oh, what's going on? I don't have to be told what either of my daughters are doing. I'm there and I know.
You're there. You're present.
Go, oh yeah, she's up to this. And, she's up to I know everything. I don't. However, why I say tough, it means Kwesta knows a little less because I don't spend as much time as I used to in the game or in the know or talking about, what's hot and what's not and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
That I don't have time for anymore. Which is
priorities have changed.
Yeah, for me it's it's a great deal. I don't want to know about the game, but I do want to know when I'm getting in the studio and making music and this, that, and the third, and I know about
everything else
what I'm trying to do. But what is going on really is something that it's there, it's in your hand, it's in the phone, but I have to put the phone down to take care of or to be around. Because there's a thing, even like a real argument that I don't want to say married, just people who live together have. Like, even when you're here, you're not here. I'm trying to be there, so I have to put my phone down. I don't know what the hell's been trending the past 7 days or the past what. I have to wake up and go, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. So I almost shut down in terms of, but not. I'm not a hermit. I'm not like I don't know what the world what's happening in the world really. I got a good idea of what's happening in the world.
The important stuff.
But what I put effort into,
what you want
that's
to
the
know.
difference. Yeah, what I put effort into and what I want to know, I will know, and where I want to put my energies into, I'll put my energies into, and I think that's the one thing that parenting is not a half-time job, and neither is music. That's what I'm going through in my life, that they both have to half-time each other one way or another. And I know they're not. So this is not you have to full-time this and you have to full-time that. But you can't have two full-times. So I play one game where the one half is this and the other half is that. That's about it. That's just how I'm trying to balance the thing. And
I can imagine
and that's by
how tough
choice.
it is.
It's not even by...
Yeah.
It is tough. It's tough because sometimes... extra time is too long. It's like, this should have been done. This could have been done had you not been, But I think that's what generally everyone goes through, because I don't think it's special to musicians or people in art. I think anyone who works or has something and has children has to balance it out one way or another. There's that balance between Ispan and regardless or just. It's not. Let me tell you what artists do. Artists think their lives are so important. Everybody needs to understand why they need to do what they do, solely based on fame. Right? And it's not for every artist. If you know you're this type of artist, then I'm talking to you. If you know you're not, then I'm not.
It is what it is.
But it is what it is. A lot of artists think the fame or the popularity or the whatever has to be taken care of, because that's what you're not taken care of by the fame or the popularity. You're taken care of by how much work you put into what you do, right? Which goes the same way with anybody that has anything to do. The more effort they put into it, the more they get out of it, right? And they probably also, artists are not the only people with children and families, right? So this is not something that's just ngoba uya rapper ngoba wenza ama beats or ngoba uya jive it's not a thing that's solely based on just the arts. It's just that sometimes the conversation is big on the arts because it's probably the most ungoverned career path you can take, because we know the stories. You took my shit. This, that, and the third, and boom, because there's no fucking governance. But when you have a job somewhere secure, say corporate or whatever, you can go. Here are my complaints routes and this, that, and the third. I can write an email to so and so and boom, and then something's gonna happen, right? There's no one to complain to with this thing. So I guess this is why it's probably a bit more publicized, but it's no different from anything else. Everybody has to balance work and family, right? And nobody can ever, no one at work can feel like you're doing too much family, and no one in family can feel like you're working too much.
And being a girl dad, has that softened you up?
Karma is big.
Ulayekile both uzophelela phi.
Right. It's dope, man. Like I enjoy it. In fact, I think I'm probably having more fun with my youngest daughter. My first one was
Yeah,
like, I think I'm having more fun with my younger, who's 2, you know, and my eldest is turning 11. So yeah, I'm saying I've been in this game for 16 years, so I was 5 years in, which means I was nowhere, right? By the time I had my firstborn, but it's dope.
Do you think it would have been different though if you had a boy? With the softness, because nyaza mantombazana, they bring out that.
Yeah, I think there's a need. There's 2 things that just came into my head now. It's like there's this certain need to be a certain type of father, right?
Yeah.
Given the environment is Pilagoyo,
yeah,
in terms of how these women or maybe girl children are brought up in the world, and how safe or unsafe the world is for women. And so I'm a different type of father because I have women, and I probably would have been a different type of father if I had, because I have girls. If I had boys, I probably would have been a different type of father also. Better or not, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whether I would have been better or not. My my job is to be a father. Whether it's to a girl or to a boy. But I do think...
Okay, but was straight. Oh my God. Siyarekhoda nina. Yo. Yazi abantu basekhewa.
Amavesi besiwarekhoda. Recorder me
kokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokokok it. Oh my gosh. Hey man, it's a podcast. What can we do?
Conversation is
Lalela, sikhuluma ngento ezila.
But that's so dope. That's so cool. That's love.
We love it though.
It's love.
We love it though. Okay, siyabonga. Thank you. Bye. All
So
right.
my primary thing,
Yeah.
mina kumele ngibe time, you know. But I do think if I had a boy, I would have been a different type of father than I am, you know, with girls. I'm a whole different type of human being because I have girl children, you know, and that
tough,
has affected
man. It's
me.
crazy.
It's probably I don't want to say it's solely because of my environment, but it's just it is society, man, actually, but maybe not solely. It's also because of how I was brought up, right? I was brought up by women, and I need to find a way to bring up girls that can raise a man that is better than me, right? Because I was raised by some incredible women, and if I'm raising girls, my bar level is at my mom, my aunt, my aunts, and my nokok, you know, and that's a high level.
It is,
right?
It is.
If you ask me, you know, and how I came up, so I need to figure out a way to do that as a guy. You know, thank God I'm not alone in it. But I have to figure it out as a guy to kind of
be able to
what do I stop and what do I not? If I stop this, that is stop her from being what Ukoko was to me. You know, or if I begin this, does it stop her from being what mamnani no auntie were to me? You know, but you figure it out also. I think there's no great parent until the child says so. Given what they've both achieved in bringing up the child. So I can't say I'm good or bad a parent, but bringing up girls is, because I don't know what it's like to bring up boys, is probably different from bringing up boys. I'd have been more at ease because of how the world is shaped.
That's why I've got 2 boys.
Let me tell you, it's easier in the world for me to walk around now. Like Mangala Garage. I can just walk there outside of the fame shit. I can just walk there and buy cigarettes and come back. You know, if you walk there,
it's a different story.
It's a whole different thing. You'd have to deal with a couple more things that I didn't have.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm inspired on some, you know, it's just the reality. No, Nami, I'm a guy, right? But I'm saying it's
society.
It's just unlearning some things and relearning new things. Same goes with women also. It's unlearning and relearning new things, or learning new things. It's just we just have to learn how to be one, and that's a tough thing based on what we have to unlearn. The unlearning is probably the bigger job than you learning, because unezinto okhuliswa ngazo endlini that no longer are in effect in the world as it's shaped like today.
Now, yeah.
Nami nginezinto engikhule ngazo endlini that are no longer, you know,
relevant
effective or worth anybody's time. That that now I have to, and now we have children that we have to teach something else. That we, you know, but you know, it's we have to figure it out because the world has to survive. Otherwise, Elon Musk wins and we all live in Mars. Which I wouldn't mind. I just don't think I can afford it. That's the problem.
Galile. Oh my God. Also
Elon Musk uzosisa Mars.
Kama sophila kahle lapho.
Angazi ngoba nina bathi nibuye Venus. Nizohlala lapha.
We'll live in your pockets, okay? We will live in your pockets. Lani yakhona sihamba nani. Angeke isale. Ubani uzokundutshani? No, sorry. We can't. Also ukhulela Sprite, right? Everyone knows you're from K1. Do you think you would have been a different kind of person if Bokulela also?
Yeah. As much as I believe with Amakas Trisha fan, Amakasa fan, but I think I would have been different. And also thank God that my family is also not spread out too much.
Okay.
A lot of my family is in Katlehong.
Local.
And also just, I don't think I would have been distinctly me if I came out of. Let me tell you, I love Soweto. I love it. I really do. And I'm using Soweto as an example on purpose because a lot of the times, especially coming up, especially when we're coming up as rappers or as anyone in the music, you'd always hear about Soweto or somebody else that's doing something better than you guys.
Because you
almost have to go to Soweto and prove that you can do it. And then Mabakbu's was like, you know, and I think that's one of the things that made me want to kind of always go, I'm from Katlehong. If there's one thing you're not going to miss, is where I'm from, right? You're always going to get that because I felt like whenever the conversation was, especially in the space I was in this rap thing, it was never mentioned, or it was, and this is a place that birthed at least half of Squatter Camp, you know, where and Squatter Camp was like at that time the
biggest.
Well, still at this time they were the first big act in hip hop, right? A lot of it's the East Rand, half of it Katlehong, not Leondale, you know, and this, that, and the third, but you know, spread out across
Katoras, East Rand, rather.
Katoras is right. Actually. East Rand is new things. Now there's Ekurhuleni.
No, Tina Katoras.
But a lot of the time, it was always like, I have to go to Soweto. And I say Soweto on purpose, not because I have a thing against Soweto, but because that's where everything was. That's where all the battle sessions were. That's where you needed to prove yourself. And I had to go there to kind of prove that I could rap. And there was a sort of egotistic, or maybe, I don't know, there was was kind of like the almost unasked question, but it was like assumed or presumed. You know, so I'm like, no, we're Katlehong. Oh, Kuvada. You know, and I'm like, nah, man. I need to kind of punt this Katlehong thing. I don't think we did enough, you know.
So this is why in your videos you come to Katlehong.
Every single thing I do, every single sort of video that has to do with any sort of hood thing, because to me this is the job was always to turn that around, which has been turned around, so which is great. Love it. You know, and I think there's now an exchange in many hoods that is so dope. But at that time I had to push a flag for Katlehong, regardless of whether I was in Soweto or Tembisa or anywhere else, you know. And also, I love Tembisa also because it's also birthed one of my favorite artists right now, who's Touchline. But I'm just gonna throw that out there just because I say it in.
Here we haven't time to Touchline. We haven't time to come
on. But yeah, I mean, so I think I would have been different because if I was maybe from a place that was celebrating guys like me already, or that was celebrated, then I probably would have had a different approach. I wouldn't have. If I didn't have a a slaghuis or whatever other session to go against or to go into and prove that
yourself.
guys from Katlehong can rap also, I probably would have been different if it was just something that happened next door. You know, I probably would have fought a lot less because you know, because it was far, I had to do a bit more.
You had to. What do you think is missing in Katlehong? What elements do you think we don't have that make other places bigger?
Me to
or
do more.
Seem?
No, but also that's partly true. You know, there's always some truth in jokes.
Yeah.
I think it's just, you know, the unnerving belief of in what hasn't happened. You know, people don't have why?
So why should I do it?
You know, and if we have more of those sort of people who go, I don't care if I've seen it, I don't care if I know it, I don't care if it's possible or not possible. I just care that I want to do it, and I care how much effort I'm willing to put into making it possible. That's it. That's
Done.
all we're missing, because I think like any other child, we're in fact, in terms of rap, it's different, because a lot of the rap stuff started here, but just the history is weird, and I don't want to say stuff. Hey,
no controversial stuff.
Maybe, yeah. Let's phone Rashid. Rashid will tell us all the stuff about and some other guys who were here before me. But a lot of it started here, right? And then, you know, kind of spread out, and obviously, as you saw it to being a strong, and I use so I think people from so
we get it. No, I guys own the guys.
You know, but I think what's missing is just doing more. Why I started off with that little jokey type of thing is because there's already people who see you from afar and go, maybe they go, so I'm from rapper, but Kwesta, right? And this, that, and which is dope, right? And I appreciate that, and I'm glad there's even a child but now how that child ends up is up to how I end up, right? It's because I'm fortunate enough to be an alive human that can still tell the rest of his story, right?
Sure.
So when that child starts with me as an example, it needs to kind of finish off in a positive sort of ending so that I can fully go, and that will go far, right, for the few that I may have influenced in what I do. And I think a lot of the times we miss what we don't have here is a sense of identity that doesn't feel like it needs to belong, you know, to other groups of place. As much as we belong as a people, as a culture, and as a thing, and by those things I mean black, hip hop, artistic, and you know, with as much as we all are the same regardless of where you're from, there's always that so a bridge of opportunity, right? Which is what I tried to do, and will, you know, without fear or say that I didn't do too great at, was created it, just couldn't keep it up, right? A bridge of opportunity between being here and then not, right? And then being somewhere better, right? And I think what's missing is that it's just a very sort of strong bridge that can stand whatever weight is put on it to take people over, because the talent is sometimes unquestionable. It's like it's like, yo, come on, right?
My main focus with the pod as well is to get the Katoras people out there. You know, I interview DJs, I interview artists, you know, merch, Spyland. Shout out.
You should get mine.
You should get yours. Yeah, yo.
Speak to. And shout out to there's many people. Ivaya's doing amazing things also. Anyway, we'll do
we'll do shout outs. But the main reason for this podcast was so that abantu babone there's not just Huntersfield is great, you know. There's talent, there's all these things that you can find elsewhere. So hence ngifune wena na ukuthi uzokala, so that people can see what we are trying to do. That Esprit nayo is big. There's so much history here that people don't even know about. There's a lot of things that people don't know about Esprit. Is there anything significant that you think people should know about Esprit?
That I think hip hop in South Africa, well, in Joburg, started in the East Rand.
You think so?
That's why I say, but we need to call Rashid for that. And maybe a La Vida, right? I mean, I don't know about. There's nothing not to find, right? And I think the most talented rappers, history has proven, in terms of rappers who exist in general.
Yeah.
And I'll only limit it to rappers because that's maybe what I know, but I'm not limiting the amount of talent.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been from Katlehong, you know.
I mean,
from Katoras, the East Rand,
yeah.
right? That's undeniable, right? If you take Tembisa, take Katlehong, take David Town, you mix them up in a pot, you're coming up with like a good third of what the SA hip hop industry is built on, you know, and it's just, I don't know, maybe it's our marketing or whatever.
Maybe, yes,
I don't know, you know.
We need new
but as far as talent goes,
yeah.
I can tell you safely that a lot of the guys that people regard as legends in this space come from here, right?
Yeah. And
have
according
to
to was
go
great
somewhere else. Yeah, no.
So Hurricane manje.
As far as
Listen.
diplomas, no. As far as diplomas, come on.
Lalela.
Khumbula
saploma ngale Hurricane kusase container.
Dog, this place started in container. There's progress also. We're literally in front of our eyes.
Can you put pressure on Dodo to come? Because because we need to have a history.
Rudo uzokuthandazela. Rudo uzofika here. Please, let's pray. You see, and that's one. That's so strange for. Yabo mawucabanga ngomuntu uni hurricane, I'm sure afika kuthandazela qede ngawe yabo akuthambiza izinto yabo now you get comfortable. But I mean, as far as I'm not going to play sort of, you know, tourist attraction type thing, but there's nothing you can't find, you know,
we got everything,
but we do need the same sort of attention as other hoods get. If everything is kept at a level field, I think as far as talent goes, which I think is what the Ishan has more than any other rand. Yeah. If there's a north and a south and all that. Not talking dollars, yeah. Is as far as talent goes, there's no better place that has honed more substantial talent, right? There's talent everywhere, but like
undeniable
guys who start things off and then things get blown up, and then you're not sure where it's from, right?
And then we're like,
recognition, I need to work on my history also on that, and also just I have to put this out also that as the people, I represent a certain people who have kind of been able to do a bit more than the average person from like us, you know, and I have to put it out there that those same sort of passages of opportunities still need to be open, you know. I've seen not just myself try do it and not get it right. I've seen many of us not get it right. I need us to get it right because the talent won't stop, right? It's just the birthplace of it.
We just need to get the right formula.
It's like how the world knows music comes from Africa, you know. Dopeness comes from here, you know. That's just what it is, and we just have to take that and make these passages or bridges stronger so that they can withstand the amount of talent that's here, because sometimes they stand on the bridge for too long and then the bridge falls off. Then there's a problem with the bridge, but there's no problem with the talent, I'm told. So we need to make these bridges stronger, which means we have to come together somewhat. There's kumbaya thing, and I know everybody says this, but we act, if we did
and it's kulma, but action, you know. Let's
this
do
is
it
true.
instead of
This
just
is true.
talking about it.
Yeah, it's always nice to someone said this to me one day. It's always nice to leave a dope quote after an interview and then go home and sleep and never think about it
Yeah,
again, right?
yeah.
Oh, that was dope. Right?
And then that's
and
it.
do nothing about it. Right?
That sucks.
And I felt guilty. I was like, jeez, bro, what do you mean?
Sheesh.
You know, so if we wake up and we actually try and do things, if we buy whatever single, if we stream whatever single, if
be
we
more
post
active
whatever
about
single,
actually putting
if
things
we
out.
post a spot, if we on podcasts, if we the more we support each other, the more it grows.
Shout out to you.
This is what I feel, and I feel also, however, that I've been doing not enough of that.
But you're only one man, you know? You can only do so much.
Yeah, but
because of the influence that you have, you feel like you could do more.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I get you.
No, should.
You
Not
should.
Could,
Should do more. I get you. Ever think of writing a book?
No.
How?
I live in moments, right?
Okay.
That I forget them. I live in.
I was about to say something.
I don't take pictures. I don't do things like that. Like I'd have to. If I wrote a book, I'd have to be around everybody that was around me when I was growing up, because there's moments that I was literally in for real, not to talk about tomorrow. I was just in
the moment.
Thing. I was like, yo,
enjoying it.
And then in 2 years later, I may have forgotten the moment. I'll never forget the face. I'll never forget the feeling. Right? So I don't think I'd be I don't think my book would have much. You know, I remember the people, I remember the feeling, and I can't. I can only describe the feeling if you'd have to then build up the moment. We were here, and I can go, like, yeah. That way I could write a book. But in terms of me picking up a pen or telling someone the whole story by myself, I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think I'm a product of just myself also. You know, I think that's been the thing with my life. I'm a product of a lot of efforts from many people.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a product of Joe Biscala. When we started the conversation, I'm products from Max, AMS, and shit. Now, if I start counting, then I can't.
And then couldn't lose it with me. I was there when you were 16.
All the way to the end of rap life, right?
Yeah.
I'm a product of everything in between in my family. So to write that book, I'd need everybody.
Yeah, no. I think you should do a movie instead of writing a book.
Budget. Too many people.
Let's mali, senze a movie. And I'm gonna be featured on that movie. Angisali. Mina bengikhona usaqala. So ngizokhipha amaphokopoko. Mina I remember everything. So ngizolook ngithi no on this day.
Ngizomela kuzo wena. Serious. Usho abengaqala ukubhema man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. 16 years, 16th bar.
Jeez.
But when was the concert?
Do it. I'm only going to do it now.
Okay.
So on the 12th of August is my birthday. No, on the 11th of August is my birthday.
You're a Leo.
Yeah, I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo. You knew that 16 years ago. You see how much you can forget?
No, I didn't forget that. We are Leos. I even have your daily horoscope out, actually, if you want to hear it.
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
I never know. No, I don't.
It's not bad.
I'm gonna stick with that, and then.
But it's a daily
thing.
Usually, it's almost midnight.
That doesn't align with whatever is supposed to happen.
All right, I see you, my Leo, but
yeah, bro, 16 years, bro. And Nakona, it's more than 16 years, right? In terms of me loving hip hop and writing, right? So how it's really just from 2007 when the first time I heard a song on a provincial radio station.
Yeah,
right? That was 2007.
I was in grade 11.
Yeah, I was in grade done.
Grade done. Grade done. Yeah, no, you were done a long time ago.
And it's insane, bro. Like, the unfortunate part, however, about that joke we're making about the book is that not every moment is as vivid as I would have liked it to be right now.
Yeah.
You know, just in terms of... there's so much to do for a cause and not necessarily just for you and whatever or your own personal a picture wall or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And so you blink twice and it's 16
Hey,
years
man.
later, right?
Hey.
It's like, oh shit.
Kanjani.
Insane,
How do we
right?
get here?
But yeah, I've been here 16 years, man. It's like the verse, right? It's 16 bar, you know. It's I think my life is just supposed to get to this point, you know. Hopefully we get to a chorus and a hook, and you're not gonna get another verse. You're not getting another 16 years from me. But hopefully we get to a hook of sorts or a chorus.
Yeah.
So it's more than just 16. So it's somewhat of a song, but it would be. I think this year is just the perfect example of what I've dedicated my whole life to. I've never done anything else, right? Outside of
This is
school
all you
and
know.
music,
Yeah.
right? It's just the only things I've ever done, and it's not a bragging tool.
Yeah.
Right? It's a blessing tool, because there's probably many more people who are maybe better, maybe, you know, deserved it more or whatever the situation, that had to go on and do other things because maybe the situations were not the same as I've
Or
been
allowing,
fortunate enough to be around. So I'm happy that my whole adult life has been built around just music. It's all I know. It's all I've ever done.
You got it right the first time, and you went with it.
I got it right 16 times.
Okay.
I got it right the
Yes,
first time, and then went and got it right 16 times.
Yeah.
You know, got it right a couple times for 16 years. That makes it even longer. But it's like it always gets crazier when you think about it. It's 16 years. It's crazy.
I was saying
it's insane. It's insane.
That's how long you've been in the industry.
But you know why? It's also because of love, right? The support, right? Because it's one thing to do something and to dedicate yourself to something for 16 years, but if it's not supported and loved, it's very hard to get it to even 2 years, right? Or 3 years. So the fact that it's been building itself until 16 years,
and it's getting better,
is fucking insane. It means it belongs to all of us, right? It means, because there's not a lot of these careers that you can count that have been around for 16 years in our hip hop, right? There's not a lot of them. In fact, on top of my head, I can who have done both. I've always said I've earned the stripes and then also got the strikes, right? Which it was like the rap battles, boom boom, the come up, the sessions, and then also he's number one here, boom boom, so multi-platinum, this, that, and the third, right? To have had both, where the name is safe in the streets and the name is safe in terms of commercial appeal, right?
That's a
I literally I can only thank people for that, right? The guys who go at the rap session and the guys who stream when the shit is out, you know. I think, in fact, it's just KO who probably has more sort of, and I need to say this, it would have been AKA, may soul rest in peace. It is, in fact, let me not say it would have been, who has done it for longer and has had both the stripes and the strikes, right? I think the only other person is probably KO, and there's many people working on their strikes now or working on their stripes, or either or. But you know, and Cass probably, but in terms of the 16 years and above, right? Only KO has done this longer. And that's a person I love, and that's a person I appreciate. That's
Shout
a person
out to KO.
Jesus Christ, that man just won't stop. Jesus, I'm like, yo, we're cooling down. And then he said, sad, oh, fucking hell. And I'm not saying he's also a hot man. I'm like,
he's a
Khotmans are
hot man.
cooling
I'm
down.
man.
Now I gotta do like one more thing. Yeah, now you know. Sheesh. But and not in any way comparing it in any negative way, but just type people I've looked up to, you know. And And it's so dope because it belongs to people, and people have watched this and seen this happen, right? Or seen it not happen, and not happen, and then started seeing it, starting to happen, and then seeing it not happening, and then it's so
always like that.
The story always belongs to them, right? Because all you can do is just be in the studio and do what you say you do, and only people can go, "Oh yeah, Bob." Dog's shop. Regardless of what you think of yourself, right? Just always understand that regardless of what you think of yourself, it's the people that will, you can't make yourself the star. You don't support your shit. You can't perform and watch yourself.
Yeah,
fucking
true.
impossible,
You
right? You can't buy your own. You can,
but
maybe don't. Right? You made the
What's
shit.
The point?
You get it for free.
Yeah.
You made it. So, but you can't. You can't sing and applaud yourself. Right?
True. That's very true.
You can't be at your show. You can't watch yourself perform live. You can't do all those things, and those things all belong to everyone that supported you. So that's why the 16 years is a thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, plus it's even a verse, right? And maybe I caught it at the right time. It could have been through COVID. In fact, I started thinking of this about maybe just about 2019. I started having an idea of sort of that thing. Masilo, who's a guy I work with, used to work at Carnival City. Started pinching the idea into my head from 2019. Yeah, and then only now is it happening.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, which
it's been
12th
coming.
August, Carnival City.
The 16th
bar.
Carnival City. Road to
even
the
then,
16th
I'm
bar.
to see a Carnival City.
No.
From
You know, Konindlela,
So,
29.
Let me tell you, some of the first places I went to, don't be sure to Hurricane Yazi contain. Yazi contain is a charity, Kulunga Naba, Nabumakelwa,
Give it contain and good.
Right, Cass came here to shoot a video also,
Right.
Insane how everything has grown since that time, and it also wouldn't make sense for me to build up to this big celebration at Carnival City for 16 years and not bring it where everything started. I don't care what you think. In fact, there's no thought. It's not an independent thought. You can't have an opinion about it.
Yeah.
I've loved Katlehong my entire life, and the only place I would do a beginning of anything would be Katlehong, and it's so this is not by opinion. I don't think so because I don't care actually.
Just putting it out there.
I'm just letting you know, letting you guys know that Katlehong is something I've always loved. I think everything I have in me, good and bad, every quality, every shit thing about me, was sort of sewed up like Katlehong, and there's no fucking way I'm starting this anywhere else than right here. So 29 April, get better, get better. It's the road to something insane, something you helped build, right? Because I don't want people to think it's my show. Hey, forget me that and it's for your song. I'm a result of everyone's. Like I said from the beginning, I'm a result of many works. AMS, I'm a result of many works and also many unsung people who who never get
the recognition.
And what this would represent would be that, as in it's in figure SENZO, because I don't belong anywhere else but here, and that's why it makes sense with me. 29
April.
On the 29th is Saturday Action Night.
If you crack your voice, let me know. I'll do.
Right? You'll wear a hoodie.
I'll wear a hoodie. No, you can come when I also perform. I'll be behind.
You'll just and then I'll act like okay, sharp. I got you. I know you got me.
Got
Shut up.
Anything that people don't know about you? Anything spontaneous?
Anything spontaneous? I can't find my nail clipper.
Nail clip.
Is that?
Why don't you go to a salon? Why am I saying
it's hard to go anywhere.
29 ranta.
It's hard to go anywhere. There's something I thought about the other day, and I said, if ever I'll get asked what don't people know about you? This is what I'd say. But now I forgot that.
Bozokhuluma mang.
No, but ngicabangile, I'm like, because it's always hard to answer these things.
Yeah.
I like Family Guy. I like watching cartoons. I'm a cartoons guy.
What do you watch?
I like Family Guy. I like
Family
American
Guy.
Dad.
Okay.
I like Rick and Morty. I like weird, very vulgar cartoons. Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, and also with like a slight of social commentary here and there. I think
you actually like
I think Dave Chappelle is fucking everything.
Okay.
I also, what else do I think? I think DJ Smooth is fucking everything. I think, I've said this, I think Touchline's everything. And I don't know, man. My daughter calls me Bab VILAKAZI.
Ow.
Which makes me feel like I'm not from the house that birthed her.
Hey, bo.
It makes me feel like I'm a visitor.
But
I also think I might have taught her. So maybe I have ADHD also. I'm not sure. But no.
Okay.
If there's anything you know, I love my people. I love.
That's pretty evident.
And I can't unlove.
I think that's pretty evident.
Yeah.
Kiyabonga.
Sharp.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to me. I was so excited to see. I was like, oh my gosh.
And it just got an intip, you know.
Mina ngitsibakutsheli
Yeah. I was such a fangirl. It's insane. I was like, geez, it's been so fucking long. And
yeah,
even
no,
when we cut
he hugged me so tight. I was like, he's squeezing the breath out of me.
Skis. Hope I didn't
you're
offend
tiny,
anyone
sir.
there.
No,
so it wasn't that tight.
Akekho umuntu uzoba offended, Shem.
Bye-bye.
ADN lifestyle me out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much, man. That was cool. That was dope. Batong. He's got fans everywhere.